And we're back with another episode on Across the Board. It is a beautiful Monday evening. Still cold outside. It's very cold,
Yeah. Should
but
warm up tomorrow though.
I really hope so.
A little
I
bit at
enjoy the
least.
cold weather. The groundhog said we got 6 more weeks of winter. That's what the
Hopefully not.
groundhog said today.
Yeah, don't need it. Don't need it.
For sure. Jade, it's so great to have you back. I tell you, we missed you on Thursday. We're so
Yeah.
happy to have you back. Um, Tell you what, we had a crazy week of sports
Did.
from great basketball games, Australian Open,
Yes.
finale, thriller, a crazy NHL outdoor series game. Okay, listen, me and my dad were sitting on the couch watching this game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I always watch a lot of hockey. He only watches hockey with me when it's Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
The amazement on his face as watching this game, like, it was so insane. Which I did end up making a TikTok on it. So y'all
Yeah.
go watch that.
It
Go
was
check.
an insane game.
I
Yeah.
was baffled, like, because Tampa scored 11 seconds in. I'm like, wow. I just sat down on the couch and get my laptop ready, typing stuff up, and I'm just watching, and then bang. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. And Boston goes up, scores five straight unanswered.
That was the first time they've come back. What, four down, and since like
That's franchise history. They've never
yeah,
done
okay,
it.
yeah, they've never done it. Okay, I knew it was either they never did it or it's been like since forever.
Oh, no, it was amazing. And then like you had a goalie fight in the game. I mean, it was insane.
That was fun to watch.
I
I
will
did
say
watch that.
there was some officiating questions. Like there was like in overtime. So Boston thought they scored the winner.
Mm-hmm.
So the official called a delayed penalty. Boston had possession of the puck. The ref got his hands up. So Boston gains possession. I'm guessing he assumed that the Boston players saw his hand up and were going to stop. But no, they kept going. He was so far behind the play. And I don't think he realized it. He finally blew his whistle, but he was so far behind, nobody heard him. Boston scored, but they're like, nope, we'll just take that back from you. But
It
then
was
Jake Gitzel in the shootout gets the win.
yeah.
But that was insane. Definitely like go check those highlights out. That was awesome. But let's not get too off topic. We do have a lot to cover today, though. Started with college basketball as always.
Yep.
Then got the Australian Open. That was insane. Like I've not. I This is the first time I've sat down and watched tennis. I was amazed. That's all I need to say.
I told you it's fun to watch.
It
It really
really is. See,
is.
see, the thing is, I gotta find me a player though. I gotta like root for somebody. Like, and then I'll really, really dive into it.
Florida boy. Go for the Florida boy.
I don't think I can
Ben
do Ben
Shelton.
Shelton. I don't think I can do that.
Come on.
But we'll see. We'll see. But then we have the Australian Open and then the PGA Tour. Justin
Hmm.
Rose gets a big win this week.
Yeah.
We're going to go over that and then break down the Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed, their return to the PGA, how that's going to play out, and kind of all the steps and process to kind of get back on the PGA. So with that being said, let's go and jump right into college basketball.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Great week, a lot of amazing games. We're
Yeah.
gonna start with Monday night. Two thrillers. But let's start in the ACC. What looked like a healthy Louisville team back on the floor. Um, they got stomped
I'm
on.
about to say you might as well have
I
just said
mean,
they weren't healthy because I think it'd have made it a little better.
I you get. I mean, watching this game. I mean, here's the thing. This is just safe to say. Duke is the clear ACC favorite. I feel like right now. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
question of that. I mean, that's no surprise to anybody after this season and how it's been so far. But Duke is the clear favorite. They stomped on Louisville's throat, 83-52. I mean, they
Yeah.
dominated. Louisville went up. I believe they had a five. They were up five late in the first half, uh, and then at a halftime, Duke just ran away with this game. I mean, they just beat
Uh,
their eyes in. They just kept stomping on them.
well, they just out rebounded. I mean, like legitimately, they just kind of destroyed them rebounding, and I mean they obviously scoring. Louisville couldn't stop them. So, man, there was. I mean, I don't think there was a chance for Louisville in this game. I mean, yeah, I don't think there was any chance. They couldn't stop Cam Boozer. Couldn't stop any of them.
Louisville, and they've been struggling kind of middle part this season. And, in conference play, we've seen it before. I mean, there are teams that go through a rough stretch, but for Louisville, and I mean, they've hit our stress meter uh, plenty of times. They're not on today's
Yeah,
stress meter because we've kind of gotten past that point. Um,
true.
but, you know, watching this game, I mean, Duke dominated the second half. I mean,
They
again,
did.
Duke right now to me is the clear favorite, and they've got a what's the saying? It's their ACC championship to lose.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
I don't. I mean, there's teams that can compete, but they're playing so well right now. I don't know if you know who. I mean, there's plenty of teams that could beat them, but I just don't see it happening as well as they're playing
Yeah.
and
I mean,
how the ACC has been.
Clemson is right behind them in second in the ACC, but they've lost one conference game. I would be. I mean, Duke might lose one conference game, honestly, but that might be it.
Yeah, I mean, and that can happen. I mean, like Utah State was a prime example. Me and you talked about that. Uh, they lost to UNLV, which I mean, obviously didn't think happened. The GCU, but
Yeah.
again, when conference play, that just happens. But I mean, they got a just green grass in front of them as it is right now.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the under Monday night game. Um,
Great one.
that was
Absolutely
a
amazing game.
BYU Arizona. That was awesome. BYU kept up for the first 10, 12 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
They were making shots. Um, then Arizona kind of ran away with it a little bit in that first half.
Oh, they more than ran away with it.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, it shouldn't even been a close game. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have come down to the wire
yeah,
for
and even
Arizona.
no, for sure. And I mean, you flip to the second half, it was the same way. Arizona had this game, and then with 5 minutes left, BYU chipped away, chipped away, chipped away, and all of a sudden, here they
Yeah.
are with a chance to win the game. It indeed did not happen, but it was a great fight. It was exciting to watch for sure. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, you know, it for what BYU was able to do in that last 5 minutes, that was awesome to see. Richie Saunders,
Yeah. Yeah.
AJ DeBanza.
Saunders made three pointers, had 18 points in that game.
Mhm.
Debanza had 24. I will say though, I know other people have brought it up, but Debanza shoots. I mean, he puts up a lot of shots. I know he gets some points, but he puts up a lot of shots.
Well, I mean BYU. I mean, I would say as a team, they put up a lot of shots.
Oh, they
I mean,
did.
from a team standpoint, they put up a lot of shots. The big thing, you know, for me, I mean, you're putting up a lot of shots. You're giving yourself chances, but you can put up a lot of shots, but you got to make some. You gotta make
I
them.
mean, Debanza shot 25% in that game. He shot 24 shots. That's. I mean,
So that's so he made six.
that's
He
a
was six for
third. That's a
24.
third of what they shot. He put up a
Yeah,
third of all their combined shots in that game. He
yeah,
didn't even take the last shot.
hmm yeah. That was an insane game. Um, but Bradley from Arizona. I mean, this Arizona team, they do what they need to do. They come
Yeah,
away with the win.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you talk about all the freshmen on their team. Braden Burries, Jaden Bradley, they played amazing. 29 and 26 points for each of them. I mean, obviously, Koepka is a great player, but he didn't play in that game, and they didn't need him. Well, he did play in that game, sorry, but he only had 10 points in that game, and they didn't need him to win that game.
mhm.
Burries and Bradley were just they were great.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the talent, the NBA level talent on that team, but of course, the big part of being, for me, an NCAA title team, the depth scoring, I like to say, getting it from all over the floor. Why
And
they're so,
it's guard play. I mean, they
yeah,
always talk about March as guards who has the
y-
best guards, and honestly, those two freshmen for Arizona at the guards
yeah,
are arguably the best two guards in the nation.
yeah, and that's big. I mean, the guard play is great. The multi scorers on that team that can score. I mean, that's a huge part. I mean, that's a recipe for success come March. They're an exciting team to watch. So that was a great game. Staying on the BYU train though, um, BYU played Kansas. They took another loss,
They
90 to
did.
82. Darren Peterson played 20 minutes, but he made the most of it. Um,
Well, he did. Yeah, did he play 20
he
minutes or
played
only 18?
he he
20?
played. I think he's right. He played 20 minutes in that
Yeah,
game,
he had 18
but
points.
he made the most of it. Um, Richie Saunders though had a great game. He put up 33 and 10. Um,
He did.
he had a great game. Um,
Another great shooting night for him. He had six
yeah,
threes in that game. He shot
mhm.
58% from the field. That was
Yeah. I mean, Richie Saunders playing amazing. Had a great week. Um, for Kansas, I think the big question for Kansas from this game is come March, can you play with not having Darren Peterson for a half of basketball?
well. I mean, you look at it this way: they're getting hot at the right time. Darren Peterson obviously is probably going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. I mean, the man's played great ball, but he only played the first half, and they sat him in the second half because they were up by so much. I mean, they
What?
were up 21. They were up 21, and then he only played. I mean, he didn't play at all in the second half. Obviously, I know he's battled through injuries and stuff as well, but I mean, they also didn't think they needed him, so they didn't play him, and they still won this game. Yes, it was closer than what it should have been, but
Yeah, well, Kansas got it to four, or no, excuse me, BYU got it to four at one point.
yeah, no. Again, it was closer than what they should have been. They led by 21 at one point. I think Kansas just kind of decided, hey, we didn't need Peterson to play and potentially risk injury since he has been injury prone. And I mean, they showed that they didn't need him. He is their best player, and again, probably going to be number one draft pick. So why wouldn't you play him? But when you can win the game against the BYU team and only play him for 20 minutes, I mean that's really good. That's a really positive note for them.
For sure. And again, I think for me, the big question for Kansas is can they go without having, can they keep playing this way into March and expect to be a title contender or expect
Yeah,
to be a Final Four team? Um,
yeah. I
and
mean, they're
that's, I mean,
playing again. They're getting hot at the right time. They've won, you know, five in a row, and they've beaten some really good teams. And obviously, they're playing Texas Tech right now. They are down three with 2.5 minutes left. But I mean, this is what they've done. I mean, they're playing good, and if they can keep it up, they will be a hard team to beat.
for sure. So we'll kind of keep up with that. We'll see what happens there. But the Darren Peterson, I'm just interested to see how they manage, without having Darren Peterson
Sure,
on the floor for that time. And
he's
I
got to stay
believe to
healthy.
yeah, that's my big thing. And
Yeah,
we'll see what happens from there. We'll stay in the Big 12 though. UCF gets a big win
huge for them.
over Texas Tech. Upset.
Huge.
They went 88 to 80. Me and you talked about this one as not being, I mean, it's obviously it's an upset, so it's surprising, but it's not that surprising at the same time. It was one that we kind of talked about, like that could very well happen on the upset alert.
Definitely so. It was one that other people saw coming as well. It still is surprising because Texas Tech has been playing such good basketball, and for them to go into UCF, a team who has lost some games by large margins to good teams. But hey, man, you get Texas Tech at home, and you might as well. I mean, why not beat them? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but Texas Tech has lost a few times in a row now at UCF. Um, I believe they lost last year playing at UCF as well. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a UCF thing going down to Orlando. I guess
Mhm.
I don't know. But again, great win for UCF. I mean, I know the AP poll came out today and they were not ranked, which a lot of people were not happy with, and I can totally get that because why not? I know they were like third in votes, but man, I mean they're looking like a good team right now.
I
They
mean, they
have
they
they have a tough schedule coming up. I mean, they have another tough game coming on Wednesday. They play Houston.
I mean
So
they got a couple big wins though. They beat Kansas, now they
yeah,
beat Texas Tech. I mean,
yeah,
they're an interesting team to watch for, man. So we'll
definitely.
see. I'm excited to see it. Just from my standpoint, I'm excited to see how UCF plays this year. I'm interested to see how this all pans out. Um, all right, let's head over to the Big Ten. Um, Purdue and Indiana. Purdue at this point. after this game
I
had
didn't know
dropped
that.
a third straight. They did
I
beat
didn't know
in.
that.
They did beat Maryland. But it's Maryland. No disrespect, of course, but a
I
game
can get
you.
that.
But you lose your third straight to Indiana. You didn't score a lot. Then you put up 67 twice in that
Yeah.
in that 3 game losing streak. Indiana gets a big win to put on their resume, though. But what do you make of Purdue right now, losing their third straight as what felt like a few weeks ago or even a month ago, we were talking about this team being a national title contender, which they still are. But
Hmm.
what do you make of what's going on right now in Purdue?
Well, I think we've said it. Their defense has got to come. It's got to be a little bit better, and their offense has got to be more effective. They just, I mean, they could not move. Purdue is a team that moves the ball a ton, and they're number one in assist. I mean, at 8.9 a game, they like to move the ball a ton, and when they can't do that, it becomes really hard for them to score. And Braden Smith, obviously being one of the best point guards in the nation, he loves to, he loves to pass the ball around. And when that becomes hard, like Indiana made it for them, it becomes really hard for them to score enough points. Or even UCLA or Illinois that did it to them. Like they just don't score a ton when that happens. And they had 13 assists in that game, so technically over average, but it didn't feel like that because again, they just didn't move the ball effectively. And we've seen this obviously a couple times. Obviously, three of the last four they've lost, and I know they score 80 against the Illinois team, but again, Illinois is a fast-paced team that scores a lot. It's not really surprising that they can score that much on them, but then only put up 67 against Indiana and UCLA. UCLA being a good team at that, but it's just like, man, they've got to get something together, especially if they want to be referred to as a team who could go deep in the tournament. I mean, it's just like I feel like it's almost it's been a past 4 or 5 years that Purdue has done this. They've started off great. Everybody's put them as a number one team in the nation or one seed, and then they kind of just have these games where they kind of fall off, and they've done it again. And for them, it's not gonna get any easier. That's the problem. It's not. They play Oregon next, which okay, you can go ahead and probably give them that win. Oregon's been terrible, but then they go back to back games against top five teams or top 10 teams now since Nebraska lost. But they go Nebraska and Michigan. They go to
Yeah,
Nebraska, and then
and
Michigan comes to them.
um, they also have to play Iowa at Iowa in that stretch as well, which Iowa has shown at times. They do play Iowa on February 14th.
They don't.
Right here, buddy.
They go Oregon. They go Oregon, Nebraska, Michigan, then
Buddy,
Indiana, then Michigan State.
Saturday, February 14th. It is right
Do they
here.
really?
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe it's not. Okay.
Are you?
I don't know.
I,
I don't know. I'm not seeing that game pop up for me for some reason.
here,
But sure, yeah. But yeah, they also
you
play
know,
Iowa.
they also don't. Well, I think the reason why they don't even have a time for it yet. It's like they don't even have a time for it to tip off. It's
Oh,
probably
is it a new? It might be a neutral game. They might not be playing Iowa.
yeah. Well, either way, point being, like you said, they got a tough schedule going forward.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Either
be
way, playing Iowa or not in this stretch, they have. I mean, they have a tough schedule. I mean, three top 10 teams in the next 6 games, and they still got to play Indiana again, who they just lost to. And you say go to Iowa if that's the case. I mean, like they've still got to round out Big Ten play here with just something positive. I mean, for them, it's going to be trying not to get 6 losses. I mean, to be completely real with you, they already have three in conference play. They could easily lose another three to those top 10 teams. I mean, for them, it's don't lose more than six. It's not even, it's try not to lose six. They're still trying to keep, a higher seed here. And who knows, maybe if they do lose a couple of these games going into March and they have a lower seed, maybe it'll help. But they get somebody that can put pressure on them, like some of these mid-major teams can do, it'll become difficult for Purdue. So they've got to, man, they've got to figure something out for sure.
100%. we'll see what happens going forward for them. Um, again, like I said, they need to get something figured out fast.
Yeah.
We'll stay in the Big Ten. Two more teams to talk about. Michigan, two big wins this week. They take down Nebraska. They take down Michigan State. Um, big win for Dusty May. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, that was huge for them to get back on track. Nebraska had them, and then they feel like they handled Michigan State. But huge win for them in conference play, I would say, for sure.
Oh, definitely. To end out January that way was great for them. Um, good win good win against Nebraska. Nebraska, man. I know they lost that game, but they looked great. I mean, they looked great. And I know we'll talk about the next Nebraska game that they lost as well, but they looked great in both of those games. If they're, I know people have doubted whether or not Nebraska is really a top 5 team or a top 10 team. They looked like it. I mean, you got to be completely honest. They look like it. They've battled. Obviously, yes, they lost 2 games, but again, Michigan played great in that game. Michigan looks like Michigan, when they play really good, they're a hard team to beat. We've said this. When they play the most effective basketball that they know how to do, they're going to be one of the hardest teams in the nation to beat. And that's what they do. They have the size and strength and ability to beat anybody out there, and they rebound the ball great. And that's just what I mean. That's what they did against Nebraska, and they won the game. Obviously, only by 3 points, but again, huge win for Michigan. I believe they had 5 guys in double digits, maybe four guys in double
Nebraska
digits.
Nebraska also had some injuries on the floor
They
as
did, they
well.
did. They didn't. I mean, that's the thing too is that they didn't even play without what I think their top 2 guys,
Yeah.
and they only lose by 3 at Michigan. Again, if you're talking about a team that people were doubting whether or not they were top 5 or top 10. They definitely look like it. You lose to Michigan, one of the best teams in the nation, at Michigan, only by 3 points, down your top 2 guys.
Yeah. And I
Got to give
mean,
them credit.
after this, I mean, people look at the two losses too. I mean, they're going to say what they want to say, but these are two top teams in the Big Ten, man. Like,
Oh,
I mean, I think it's
yeah.
silly to sit here and be like, well, this just proves that they're. I mean, I'm like,
Legitimately, they are the top 2 teams in the Big Ten. They're tied for first, the 2
yeah,
teams they lost
and
to.
and the thing is, people are going to keep saying they're like, oh, well, this just proves that they're not a top 5 team, not a top 10 team. Like, I mean, they played the two best teams in the Big Ten. They competed with two of the best teams in the
Yeah.
Big
I
Ten. I
mean,
mean,
we've seen Michigan beat people by 40. They beat Gonzaga by 40. I mean, like,
and
man, you've seen them be, and then you've seen Illinois. They are hot as can be right now. They're playing some of the best basketball we've seen from them in the last couple of years, probably. And I mean, like, yeah, there's no reason to if you're a Nebraska fan or whatever. There's no reason to threat over these 2 games.
it's not even Nebraska, man. It's just
Anybody,
Nebraska haters. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's really
I
just.
mean,
I
yeah,
mean, again, I mean, we can get in that whole conversation. It's just silly to me that's even a conversation that they're not. I mean, it's
yeah,
whatever. Um, but Nebraska 2 losses this week. They played Illinois Sunday. They actually had a lead at halftime.
they did.
Couldn't finish off in the second half. Um, but like we kind of talked about, not much to be said. Not too much concern. I think. I mean, again, you play two top teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Um, two of the best teams in the Big Ten. So, uh,
And
n-
let's just Wagler is insanely good. I mean, man, you talk about trying to have to. You talk about having to try to stop somebody that's really hard to stop. Wagler is got to be one of those guys. I mean, 4 out of 9 for 3. It's just insanity.
for sure. All right, let's move on to your favorite segment,
Kansas
stress meter.
survives, by the way. Kansas survives. They win this game 64-61.
Wait, you're telling me Texas Tech did not score in that minute and 30?
Nope, 64-61. They had 2 chances to check up a 3 and missed both of them.
Wow.
They even got a turnover on Kansas' side. They had actually 3 attempts, and they missed all of them.
Wow.
2 wide
Well,
open.
Kansas 6 straight now. Legit, man.
Yeah, they're getting hot at the right time, and it's what they need. I mean, they're playing the best basketball we've seen from them this year, and I think Darren Peterson only had like 16 points or 18 points in this game.
Mhm.
So Again,
Yeah. I'll,
insanity.
I'll say we need to do before we get the stress meter. We need to do the Monday games the previous week. So like when we record for like the Mondays, like do our games of the week, we need to do next Mondays as well, probably, so we can actually get the video out and people can see it. But
Probably so.
we'll keep that in our mind going forward. All right, stress meter. We'll start out with BYU. Lost two this week. Um, Good games. I mean, of course, they were down early to
Yeah,
Kansas, but what are your thoughts on BYU?
it's BYU. I mean, honestly, like stress meter for them. I mean, I guess if you could put it like a two, a one or a two, I guess I would say that they there's no problem for BYU. Um, they're really that's nothing like we didn't expect from BYU. They're going to lose some of these close games, yeah. Especially with Debansa, he's going to miss some shots as we've seen. He's not the guy that they really give the ball to down the stretch if they have to make a shot. Even though he is probably their best player, obviously Saunders is a great shooter. I mean, for me though, it's not much of a. There's not much stress for them. I mean, they lost to good teams. I mean, it's so be it. They'll still compete in the Big 12. They'll still be one of. They'll probably still be like a four seed, if not higher than that, if they finish out the Big 12 on a hot streak. They still got a lot of games to play, especially a lot of games to show what they can do, and they can make up for it. So, man, it's just I think for BYU, it's like a two. They've got everything still in front of them. They still have one of the best players in the nation. So, yeah, they'll
For
rebound.
sure. All right, next team on this list, Purdue. I have to repeat them again this week because it's a tough loss. I mean, you lost. I mean, of course, you get the win against Maryland, but you've lost three. You went on a 3 game losing streak, and
Yeah, again, it's just we said it last week as well, talking about Purdue. Their defense just has to be better. I mean, their defense has to be better. That's the only thing, legitimately. And if obviously their offense, if it stops ball moving and stuff, we've seen that they can get them in trouble. They don't score a ton of points, but they are the second ranked offensive rating team in Kimpom, and it looks great on that side. But again, their defense is ranked 25th, and this defense that they play is not going to get them to a national title. I mean, that's what they want. That's what Purdue should be winning. That's what they've been expecting from Purdue for the
yeah,
past 5, 6 years.
that's
This
the
is what,
standard
yeah, I mean, that's what, you're supposed to win for Purdue. You're this great team that always starts off hot, basically always gets number one, all this stuff. You lose a few of these games almost every year, and people start questioning whether or not you're really, you know, really a team to compete. And again, they can be a team that can compete. They have the offense to do it. They have the players that can do it. They have the ball movement that can do it. But their defense has to get better, man. I mean, look, they lost to two good teams in Illinois and UCLA, and obviously Indiana has been up and down all year. And they play at Indiana, one of the hardest places to play. They lose it. It's nothing to freak out about. But at the same time, I'm probably at like a six, maybe even a seven for Purdue on the stress because of the fact that their defense has not looked good. And if they're going to lose games like this at home or away, and their defense looks this bad, we could, that they could easily lose first, second round in March.
for sure. Again, we talked about them. The standard is high at Purdue. It's national championship. I mean
Yeah,
that's what you expect. They've struggled. They got a tough stretch ahead of them, so we'll see how they can perform there. Next team on my list is Michigan State. They lose to Michigan. They go to overtime against the Rutgers, which was a scare. They get
it
the win
was.
though. And again, that happens in conference play, but Michigan State's been an interesting team um, from the perspective of are they a title team? Are they not? I it's one of those. It's a big question. But what do you make of Michigan State?
I mean, Michigan State, man, top 10 team in Kimpom. They have all the things they need. Obviously, Tom Izzo's going to coach his team to the absolute max he possibly can. They're going to be a great team. Yes, they lose a couple. Yes, they lose to Michigan, but it's Michigan. It's going to be a tough loss. I know they played at home, probably should have played them a little closer, but the way we've seen Michigan play against teams, it's not surprising. Michigan State, their defense can get them as far as they possibly want. Like, their defense is pretty good, one of the best in the nation, and I believe second ranked in Kempom. And they've played great, but their offense is way low. I think it's like
Yeah.
44
Yeah,
rating.
that's been that's been the concern for Michigan State. I think for the question of being a titled team, no
Yeah,
question defensively they are
yeah.
a titled team,
Oh
but the
yeah.
offensive side, it's kind of funny. Like Alabama, which spoiler,
Well, it
um,
really is funny because you look at the players they have on offense, and Jeremy Fears is one of the best players in the nation, and so you would think their offense would be really good. He had 31 against Michigan; they lost by 7. Like it, they have the players on offense. They have the guys that can score points, but it drops off after the first like 3. They have 3 guys. They have or 4, I think, 4 guys that score double digits, and after that, nobody touches double digits. And I think that's their problem is that they run them basically all their guards. I mean, their guard play is great, but past that, it doesn't get anywhere else. And I know guard play wins March, and it's great to have and everything, but for Michigan State, it's going to come really hard to rely just on Jeremy Fears to score points over and over and over again. We've seen you go into March with one guy, it sometimes works out. They can take you pretty far, but when they have an off night, who's going to be the guy to back them up? Who's going to be the guy to replace them and score the amount of points that a guy like Jeremy Fears, who, the amount of points that he can score? And for Michigan State, it becomes a question after him. So I would say, again, they've only lost 3 games. They still have everything in front of them too. Their schedule is not terrible coming up. I know they play Illinois here. I think what at the end of the week. Um,
believe so.
yes, they play
Uh,
them on Saturday. Uh,
yeah, that's on our
and I mean they
schedule.
play a couple
So
of hard. They play a couple hard games, just tough conference opponents in Wisconsin, UCLA, and they still have Purdue to play, and they still have Michigan to play at the end of the year. But honestly, they could go. They could end conference play with 4 losses at the most, 3, 4 losses. Like I think that's honestly what Michigan State could do, and they'll look great. But again, it's how far can their offense take them? Their defense isn't great. Their defense is amazing. Their offense isn't. How far can they take them? So I would say probably like a 5 for them. I mean, they lose this game, but again, we know what Michigan can do.
for sure, for sure. Again, I talked about offense. That's my big question for Michigan State going forward. Um, Nebraska, they lost 2 this week, but we kind of already gave our answer, at least your answer, stress wise on them. Um, but
Yeah, it's pretty much it's a maybe a 1. I mean, the only thing you could look at is they can't finish out some of these games maybe with a couple leads, but other than that, they've played 2 great teams. They've looked amazing. They were down guys, like we said. They still only lose to Michigan by 3 points. Got to give them all the credit in the world because at the start of the season, I didn't. I was one to question whether Nebraska was really one of the top teams, like they might have looked like it, and they've shown that they definitely are. I mean,
mhm.
their defense might be able to get their. I mean, sorry, their offense might be able to get a little better, just shooting wise. I know they put up a ton of shots. Maybe they could shoot a little better, but other than that, again, they've had injuries and stuff, and they're still kind of prevailing in the right. They're doing everything right as far as they can go.
Yeah, like you said, we already gave our answer there. Let's go to Alabama after getting their eyes beat in.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Bediako with only 6 points fouled out. And to add on to the pain and suffering, gets the G League dropout chance. I mean,
Love it. Love it. Absolutely
they
amazing.
got their eyes beat in. I mean, this. Oh man, and
I mean, it's exactly what we've been saying. All right. You play a team, and yes, I am a Florida fan, it's a little bit of bias, but you play a team like Florida, you're going to have a hard time. Anybody in the nation. But when it comes to Alabama specifically, it's when you play a team who plays a great defense in Florida, top 10 in the nation, it becomes really hard for offenses like Alabama's, who that's all they run off of, to win a game like this. Because when you start making them take some bad shots, you start making them miss shots, you start getting in lanes and stuff, it's going to become really hard. And with how big Florida is, it's not like Alabama can just drive on the inside, start getting points. They chuck up a lot of threes. They missed a ton of threes in that game. It's going to become really hard for Alabama to win a game like that. It's almost impossible for them to win any games like that if they can't shoot the ball because their defense is not good enough to stop a good scoring team who's Florida's also top 15 in scoring. We've seen them get hot and score points. They scored 100. They've scored 100 in 4 of the last 5 meetings against Alabama. And the one meeting they didn't score 100, they scored 99. So, like, it's just, we've said it a million times. Alabama only goes as far as their offense can take them. And it does not go any further than that. And we've said that for the past, 3 years. But, like, that's legitimately, that is the bottom line. It's as far as they can take them offensively, and that's it. If they don't score, it goes downhill fast.
Yeah, I mean, that was fun again. And not like, and you were talking about the offense of Alabama being as far as they can take them. I mean, defensively, trying to play against the bigs in the paint, not happening. And the Nate Oates
No,
comment. I mean, I don't even want to get into all that. That was just funny. I just love the back and like, oh man, the
I love
comment.
Todd Golden, man. Todd Golden, love him, love that man.
We'll beat them anyways.
Yep, beat him
I
and then he
mean,
makes the comment after the game of, "Well, I think our guys scored 72 points in the paint, and I think they stood there for like 1, 2, 3 seconds, couldn't
oh, and
stop
then
them."
Nate Oates, man, he was. Oh man, what was his? Was his comments like? Well, they're
He
staying in the
said,
paint
he
more.
said, well, no wonder you score as many points as they score in the paint when you can stay in there 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. I mean, uh,
I don't know. Maybe you're just a little too
whatever.
small. Maybe just a little too small.
Yeah,
Might need to go back and grab some more G League guys.
they have a
Find
G
you,
League guy and still can't. So
they need a
I'm
few
just,
more. They need some bigs.
yeah,
Maybe just
I
how
don't
about
know.
some defensive players? How about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
but my stress rating for them is like an 8 because
Yeah.
again, their offense, yes, their offense is great. They can score a ton of points against a lot of good teams. But even if they go against a mid-major team who can match them in scoring points, like let's say they somehow match up with like a St. Louis or something, I mean, honestly, it's downhill. I think for them, like I don't think they can win a game like that at all. So yeah, it's we'll see.
For sure. All right. Let's head to scheduling. Um, let's get into the games of the week. We'll start on Monday. Well, the game already concluded, but Kansas Texas Tech. Hey, but
That
if
game
you want to
was
go,
great to watch. Great to
if you
watch.
want to go watch some highlights or just go rewatch it during free time, it's still a
True,
great game.
true.
Entertainment's still there. Um, we'll go to Tuesday. Miami, Ohio, Buffalo. A rematch of what was a close game last time.
Yes.
Xavier, UConn, NC State, SMU, Nevada, Boise State, Wyoming, San Diego State. Then you go to Wednesday, you got Seton Hall, Villanova, Texas A&M, Alabama, UCF,
That will be
Houston.
a big game for Bama to bounce back, but also kind of see what Texas A&M is made out of. They've got 2 tough games this week.
They're playing great in the SEC, by the way. Buckyball,
Buckyball, man. Yeah,
getting it
Buckyball.
done. UCF, Houston, BYU,
Huge game.
Oklahoma. Yeah, BYU, Oklahoma State, Clemson, Stanford, Utah State, New Mexico, and then
That's a huge game.
Friday. Yeah, and then Friday you got UConn, St. John, Dayton, VCU. Then on Saturday you got Syracuse, Virginia, Wisconsin, Indiana, NC State, Virginia Tech. Then you got Baylor, Iowa State, Auburn, Alabama. Little Iron Bowl action.
Again, another big game for Alabama.
Mhm. Then Arizona, Oklahoma State, Duke, UNC, Clemson, Cal, Utah State, Wyoming, Illinois, Michigan State, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida A&M, Boise State, New Mexico, Houston, BYU, San Francisco, and St. Mary. Then on Sunday, you got Michigan, Ohio State, Texas Tech, West Virginia. That's your main slate. That's a good bit of games.
A lot of games, a lot of good games too. I mean, a lot of top dogs in conferences playing this week. man,
I
uh,
I, re- I really want to do some digging. I want to just get a lot of games out there. Just get some games out there, man. I think will be interesting.
uh, yeah. I
And
mean, man, there's a lot of good games. Like we said, Alabama, two tough games this week. To see if they can bounce back, but also the team that they play come what Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday they play Texas A&M and
the buckyball.
Texas A&M two big games this week. They play Bama and Florida, and Florida and A&M top two teams in the SEC will be huge to see. Well, again, what Texas A&M actually is made out of. Um, but then also see who is probably the favorite in the SEC after this week. I mean, there's a lot of good games. I know UConn St. John's on Friday is a huge game for a
That's
Big
a
East
big
play.
one in the Big East.
If St.
Huge
John's
game.
could somehow pull it off, they become a team to look forward to again. I mean, obviously they've been playing really good ball. They have over the past couple of weeks, but UConn is tough to beat for anybody, and so we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they can do. I know they. I mean, they're playing at home. St. John's is that could be a game that they could potentially win, get themselves back in some conversation for maybe a higher seed. But um, yeah, there's a lot of good games. I did want to mention Sicko set schedule for this week, though. A lot of good games for the Sicko schedule if you're a sicko for some college basketball, which I know all of us are. Um, I did just want to mention the rocket rivalry, of Toledo having a rocket pointed at Kent State's campus. Always fun. Always mentioned football, but it is basketball. Kent State Toledo on Tuesday they play in a rivalry game. Yes, I think you're kind of pointing it out for me. There was a game tonight, McNeese State and SF Austin. Um, Really big game in the Southland Conference. Top two teams. SF Austin had a one game lead over McNeese State, and
They
McNeese
expand.
lost. Yeah, they expand to two games. Huge for SF Austin because that is a big leap. Because more than likely they'll win. Both teams will win all their games out. It'll come down to tournament play for them. 8 game winning streak now for SF Austin. So huge for them. And then Wednesday, a lot of good games on Wednesday. Sunbelt, South Alabama, App State. South Alabama leading the Sunbelt right now. They play an App State team who has been kind of hot recently. So, or second place, USA, sorry, second place. But again, they're right there. So big game. Tulsa, FAU. Tulsa obviously leads the American. They've looked great this year. Furman ETSU, huge game in SoCon. If you want to watch some SoCon basketball, go watch those games. Go watch that game because two great scoring offenses. But ETSU obviously leads the SoCon in that one. Lipscomb, Austin P. Always love watching me some Lipscomb basketball. Man, they put up a ton of shots. They shoot great. I love some Lipscomb basketball. But they're 14-1 in the last 15 games they've played against Austin P since 2010. So yeah, they've kind of outmatched Austin P over the last 15, 16 years. So we'll see if that continues. Then Santa Clara Pacific, huge game in the WCC. Not really mid-major, but at the same time, kind of had to put them there. 4 game winning streak for Santa Clara. They are tied or in second of the WCC with Gonzaga. Are they tied or for? They might be tied.
I think
Um,
they're
I think they're tied. But again, Santa Clara's looked great. I know they're still battling for a just at large bid for the tournament. I know people have them like right in the last four out, first four out, last four in, um, kind of flip flop each week. So big game for them. Pacific has been on a hot streak though. Uh, Iona Siena in the MAC. The MAAC, not the MAC, not the MAC, but the MAAC. Great game there. Iona is 3-1 in the last 4 meetings against Siena, but also a rivalry game. Um, so huge game for them. William Mary versus UNC Wilmington on Wednesday as well. UNCW leads the conference, but William Mary, last time they played, they did beat them, and also William Mary is one of the best teams at covering the spread. So easily could go
You
either
give
way.
you give us some advice for our sports bettors out there,
Yeah,
James.
yeah, yeah. That's also it. If you wanted to take a team out there this week, William and Mary, they did it last time against UNC Wilmington, so could do it again. And then Saturday, a lot of good games Saturday as well. Missouri State versus Liberty. Liberty wants to keep up their undefeated streak in the CUSA. They're 10-0 right now. Could make it 11-0. UC Irvine versus Santa Barbara. UC Irvine is first in the Big West. Yes, in the Big West. Um, they play Santa Barbara. They've played really good. Santa Barbara, I believe, is like tied second or third in the Big West. Um, kind of obviously rivalry game, all those California teams, but big game there. Another one of the Big West, UC San Diego versus Hawaii. Hawaii is second in conference. They lost to UC Irvine last week. Huge game, but looking to bounce back against a really good UC San Diego team that has kind of been on the download this year, but they're looking for a good win as well. Um, then over to a good Horizon League game. I know most people probably don't even know what Horizon League is, but
Oh, I
Purdue
do.
Fort Wayne versus Wright State. Wright State leads the
Hey,
conference.
if you don't know the Horizon League, maybe Jack Golke would maybe ring a
Yes,
bell for some of those people.
exactly. That is you were exactly right. Maybe that would ring a bell for some people. Um, but
Dude,
again, a great game. Go ahead.
one of my
Go ahead.
great memories last year was
Mhm.
watching the Horizon League tournament and watching Jack Golke and go, you know what? They're pulling off a first round upset. Whoever they play, I had just said, I'm taking them, and I did take them in my bracket. And man, I'm riding high off that still. My bracket sucked overall. But hey, Jack Golke got it done. And actually, that was 2 years ago. But still, I don't care. They got it done.
Uh, hey, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still Jack Golke was one of the favorites I think for all of America to watch to play, and honestly wish we could watch him play basketball again because loved those games that they played. Um,
And DJ Burns, still holding my heart, one of the best centers in college basketball.
and why is that? Why is that? Was there a certain
He's a dog, buddy.
he was
You
a
see,
big man. Is
he
a
was
huge man.
276. You're telling me you want to guard DJ Burns in the paint? Not me. His little spin move,
No, 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 no,
boy,
no,
man was
no, no, no.
filthy.
Don't. I'll be on the ground.
That man was
But
filthy.
again, Purdue Fort Wayne versus Wright State. Wright State obviously leads the conference. Purdue Fort Wayne is third in conference in the Horizon. So big game for them to kind of see if Wright State kind of separates themselves from the other teams there. And then American versus Navy. Navy is leading the page is second in the Patriot League. Sorry, second in the Patriot League, but still trying to gain that first place spot. American has played kind of up and down, but they've been good in conference, so going to be a tough game. Navy's been good playing good though. Um, did want to mention the MAC Sunbelt Conference challenge this week. Akron versus Troy, two of the top teams in their respective conferences. Akron obviously is second in the MAC. Troy is first in the Sun Belt. So big game there for both of them. Could look great on the schedule. But also wanted to mention the number one team in the MAC, Miami, Ohio, plays Marshall, who Marshall is, I believe, third or tied for second in Sun Belt. So also a big game for them as well. Will be a tough game though. Marshall does play some good ball. And then last on the schedule, Saturday, um, late game. We mentioned them last week, so we mentioned them again this week. UT Arlington versus Utah Valley. Both teams are tied at the top of the Western Conference, so a huge game for them to see who can separate themselves, go one game up. UT Arlington, man, gotta mention the I believe it's the Mustangs.
Stallions, Mustangs.
Stallions. It's the Stallions.
I
It's the
think
Stallions.
Stallions.
That's what it is. It's the Stallions. But again, got to mention them. They've been playing great ball. Obviously, Western Conference. Nobody knows what that is either. But hey, go watch it if you don't have anything else to do or don't want to watch any other bigger games on Saturday night. Uh,
That's
I
fair.
mean, but yeah,
Hey,
that's your
hey,
Sigo schedule for the week. A lot of good
yeah.
games. Again,
I will say I may be going to the Sun Belt tournament. If you're down here, we should go. It's right. It's not even like
Yeah, that's true.
it's at the base center. I went last year
Who
and I
was
was
it?
sick.
Who was it? Yeah, who was it last year that made it far? Was it
It was
JMU or something?
JMU
Was it
won the tournament. So our when we were there, so Georgia Southern was 6-23
that
during
was
the
it? That
tournament.
was it. Georgia Southern.
That was my
Yes,
hope.
yes.
They had
Hmm.
man, and they had App State. They had them beat. It was so sad, man. All of our hearts were broken. Like you had all of us sitting on like one side of the ring, and we were of the arena, dude. We were all getting hyped because we
Yeah,
thought they're like, no way they get this done. They almost did.
yeah. I think the Sun Belt is a little bit more competitive than they were last year. Even though, again, you talk about Georgia Southern having a chance last year.
That's
Um,
my favorite. I love watching conference tournaments only because I root for the bottom team every time in hopes.
Facts. Yeah,
Hey, and NC State,
sure.
DJ Burns, they did it, man. They did it. Um, but with
Oh,
that being
yep.
said, let's move on. Got to shout out the Australian Open,
Yes.
the
Little
semifinals
tennis.
and the finals. Insane.
Semifinals games for the men's were absolutely incredible.
Now,
You had
correct
the
me,
longest match in
5 hours and
Australian
27
Open,
minutes.
longest
Uh,
match in Australian Open history. It was Alcaraz versus Zverev. Great game. There's a little bit of controversy there with maybe Alcaraz taking a medical timeout for a cramp, which is not allowed because cramps aren't technically injuries. They are a form of obviously your body giving out on you and not actual good exercise. So, um,
Dang.
but Zverev had some words to say during that match, but it didn't. I mean, again, I know people talk about maybe as that being a little controversy. Maybe that's he got away with it. Alcaraz is. They said because he could pinpoint that there was pain in his abductor that they actually allowed him because he said it was pain in a certain muscle. So if you say pain and you actually know what muscle it is, it doesn't count as a cramp. So you can get medical timeout for that. Zverev didn't believe that. But he did go on. Zverev did win the next two sets in that game after the medical timeout. So didn't really even help Alcaraz in that matter. He did go on to win the match, obviously, again, in the longest match of AO history. And then the other semifinal game for the men's was also amazing. Sinner versus the GOAT, and Djokovic,
The
argue with
goat.
a wall. Um, but again, a great match there. Obviously, back and forth. Sinner won the first set 6-3. Djokovic won the next set 6-3. And then Sinner won the next set 6-4. Then Djokovic won the next set 6-4. And finally, Djokovic won the last set. I believe it was 6-3 or 7-5, something like that. But again, Djokovic did come out to win. Sinner is, I believe, well, I know he's never won a match over 4 hours and 20 minutes long. So that match went for I think like 447 or something like that, 450. But Sinner has never won a match over 4 hours and 20 minutes. So huge deal when it comes to that long. He can't really sustain that. Already saw him with a couple of injuries, a couple of cramps earlier in the tournament. But yeah, then it got to the final, and probably the most looked forward to final in a while because you were obviously, Alcaraz chasing the Grand Slam to be the youngest person ever in tennis history to complete the Grand Slam, and Djokovic to get his 25th, and for some people to really certify that he is the GOAT, even though he has the most majors of anybody. But looking for his 25th would be a big deal if he could get it. Obviously, came out, won the first set. People thought maybe, just maybe, it would happen. And then Alcaraz beat him in the next three straight to win. Great game, though. Great match. It really was. Last set was a battle. Um, but didn't really know if Djokovic just had the energy and the ability. Obviously, he's 38 and he's, he didn't play a few sets in this, fourth, fifth round. So didn't know if he really had it in him. But again, great match. Alcaraz won, became the youngest ever in tennis history to complete the Grand Slam, and that is amazing because he beats out some of the best players ever, and obviously Roger Federer or Nadal or Borges or Djokovic, all the absolute greats of tennis. So still looking for Djokovic to get his 25th. He has 3 majors left of this year. He kind of made it sound like this could be it for him, and be retiring after this year, which would be huge. That would be a big deal. But hopefully, he can get his 25th. He's going to have some stars align. That's why people thought maybe you could do it this week because stars did align for him to get to the final. But we'll see about that. And then obviously on the women's side, in the semifinal, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Pagula and Rybakina, and then Sabalenka and um, why am I forgetting her name? That's gonna hurt me really bad. Uh, but obviously, Sabalenka and Rybakina did get to the final, and they won. Rybakina ended up winning in 2 sets. Played great. The match was great. An absolute battle. Always is, especially when you play Sabalenka. It's going to be a battle. She can serve the ball really well, but Rybakina absolutely dominated in serving um, in that match. So huge for them. Huge for her to get a major. Um, and yeah, great. I mean, great matches all around. Whole Australian Open, one of the best in recent years. Obviously, this is your first time really watching tennis, so honest, probably the best tournament to start off with. Obviously, first major of
I
the
was
year. Still got 3 more.
I was excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm gonna definitely watch some tennis. I'm gonna find me a player before then though. Leonard Tien might be my guy though, man. Leonard
I
Tien
can understand that.
he might be my guy. So we'll see going
I
forward.
can, yeah,
Now let's flip over to the PGA Tour. Let's start out with the Farmers Insurance Open this week. Justin
yeah.
Rose, BTA to about every
Hey,
player.
and he's turning back. I mean, the hands of time here. What is he now? 45,
He
42,
he
45.
he's up there. He's up there. Um, what a great week.
Obviously, yeah,
I
but
mean,
great. I mean, yeah,
he had a
amazing.
great week. Um, he was
He's
second.
45. 45, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he great week for him though. He was second in shot gained approach the green. He was 10th in shots gained or strokes gained putting, first in strokes gained total. He gained
Yeah.
12.205 shots total. Um,
Well,
he was first.
he set the record for lowest winning. Lowest score to win at the Farmers Insurance. So he beat out Tiger. I think it was Tiger and shoot, I can't think of who the second person was. I feel like it's Matsuyama or somebody. But
Yeah,
at 22 under, Justin Rose obviously beat that at 23. Wire to wire win too. Don't see those often, but
no,
Justin
no.
Rose pulling it off.
Yeah, and he was first in green regulation this week, 81%, almost
Yeah,
82, and he was first in putts per green. Um, he had an absolutely great week. Um, a huge win for him and very exciting as he a great start to his year and maybe some light, with Masters around the corner if
yeah.
he can take another whack at it. Um, but some Joel Damon was up there this week. That was awesome to see.
He didn't have
Uh,
his best round in the last, but he did place top seventh. And for somebody who was, I believe, 122nd in FedEx Cup rankings, that's huge for him,
yeah,
especially
no,
since he's not guaranteed a tour card. So, yeah, a big week for him.
yeah, and a couple of notable names kind of up inside the top 10. Cootie was minus 16. Siwoo Kim minus 16.
He had a great
Uh,
week.
might want to help. You might need to help me with this name. His Satsun was minus 16. Jake Knapp minus 15. Uh, then you had Steven Yeager minus 15. Sahith Theegala
Sahith
minus 14.
Theegala, that was a big deal this week. Maybe he's back. That could be we could see. I mean, people have been asking. He didn't play. He didn't have a great year last year. Uh, People kind of wonder what happened to him because he was supposed to be this great guy, this great player, probably top tens all over the board. Kind of fell off. Great week for him. Obviously, started the season. We'll see where that takes him.
Yeah. Then you had Andrew Novak, Joel Damon, McNeely.
Maverick
That's a
McNeely, man.
that's a guy
Yep.
you'll see on top some scoreboards this season, and we'll kind of I'm interested to see.
Competitor. He's a
He is,
dog.
yeah, he will compete. Ryan Gerard, Adam Schenk, Keith Mitchell, Matsuyama, Power, and Lee were all
And Tony
minus
Finau.
12. Oh, and Finau, I can't believe I forgot his name.
You
Uh,
can't believe. Come on now. He could,
yeah,
another guy who could have a great season, who didn't have a great season last year. He shot 600 in the last round, so great
yeah.
round for him.
Some notable missed cuts. Cantlay missed the cut. Uh, Xander Schauffele missed the
That's the big
cut.
one.
That was the huge
Longest
one.
active streak of 72, I believe,
I mean, he
and
was
he broke it this week. But he did say in his presser after he would say he would enjoy the weekend off because he hasn't had one off in quite a while. So he would enjoy the
dang.
weekend off. But sadly, yes, that streak is broken. I think Scotty is right behind him with like 62 or something. So that could easily be passed.
Yeah, I mean, some more names: JJ Spawn, Max Homa, Adams Vinson, Luke Lanton, Lee Hodges, Van Royen, bunch of names.
Yeah.
But again, great week for Justin Rose. Next week and this week's tournament, which I'm gonna make sure we get a video out before they tee off Thursday. The Waste Management Phoenix Open is the next scheduled
One of the
event
best atmospheres in all of golf.
for sure. I know that we are going to
I
be looking at this one. I'm
uh,
excited. Uh,
I did want to mention though because I know we're about to mention the waste management stuff as well. Brooks Koepka obviously played this last week, first start in the PGA Tour. For him being back, he shot 4 under, placed tied 56th. But I mean, not really much of a surprise. Didn't really expect him to win this week. He could be a name to look forward to for the WM, potentially competing, maybe kicking some rust off this last week. I also wanted to mention as well Chris Gotterup. Could we see him top 10 player in the world? Man's looking great. He's playing some great golf right now. He absolutely pounds the ball, and yeah, I can't wait to see what he can do. I mean, he's played some great. But obviously, looking forward to the WM. Um, Big tournament, obviously, always a fun one to play in for all the players and all the fans. They have more than enough fun in that tournament.
mhm.
Maybe a little too much, but big tournament, big field. Scotty's playing this week, so always a big field when Scotty's playing.
Oh yeah,
um,
I'm
you know,
excited to watch it. Thomas Dietrich took it last year. Like I said, we're
my
definitely
boy.
gonna get a
Me
Thomas
and Brad's
Dietrich.
boy. That man is all over the place. He can make a double, triple, quad, and then go eagle, birdie, birdie, birdie. It
See
was
here,
mm,
here's the thing. I don't know why, but every time me, you, and Brad do a Masters pick, but I don't know why we have to take a non-American on our list. I put him on my list for whatever reason. I could never tell you
nope,
why,
nope.
but I say, hey, you know what, Thomas Dietrich, maybe, just maybe. No, that's a bad idea. I may have to go with someone else next year.
Well,
Um,
he joined the live, so he's off now. We got to find somebody different to watch that has an insane scorecard. But that was me and Brad's favorite person to watch because his scorecard could be the absolute wildest thing you've ever seen.
For sure, man. But again, we'll definitely get a video out. We're gonna try and get one out Wednesday if we can do that, or at least one day, at least get it out before uh, the tournament starts. Um, but the big reason we're talking about the PGA Tour, obviously Thursday I did a podcast. Of course, recorded an episode. I kind of briefly, we kind of talked about the Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed situation.
Hmm.
But now today we want to dive a little deeper into it and kind of just get a full understanding of what goes into, you know, the player equity program, what events they can plan, what they have to qualify for, and that kind of deal. So with that being said, we'll kind of start with Brooks Koepka. Again, he played this week, made the cut. Um, he was at the bottom of the leaderboard though. But
Yeah,
with that being said, still made the cut. That's great. Had a good week. But definitely want to kind of dive into the events he can play and what he can't play in, what he has to qualify for. And we'll kind of also talk about Patrick Reed as well.
well, his two guaranteed events for Brooks Koepka obviously were the Farmers Insurance and the WM. I know he will play in the Players since he has won a Players. He'll have to qualify for all the signature events though, since he's coming back to the tour. So he'll have to play good enough to qualify for those signature events. So the Pebble Beach program, 2 weeks from now, he is not in. Uh, Come the end of the year, potentially he could play in a signature event. Obviously, you can get sponsor exemptions for other tournaments as well. Majors, he'll obviously qualify for some of them, or
Um,
all, not all of them, I believe.
we talked about the Open. Is the Open the one he does not have to requalify for? I thought that was the one we had talked about that he didn't have to, if I remember us talking about that correctly. I'm not
I
100% sure.
believe
I,
so. The Open, you if you win the Open, you have a lifetime, just like the Masters.
okay. Yeah, so that makes sense.
But yeah, he'll obviously play in as many tournaments as he possibly can. I'd imagine. Well, I say that in like the bigger tournaments. Kepka's never been a guy to play all 30 events. Play 30 events a year. Like he's not. He's never been that type of guy. He'll play in the big ones. He might play in a few smaller ones this year because he wants to get his obviously his official world golf ranking up to be able to play in or FedEx Cup, be able to play in signature events. But speaking of FedEx Cup, obviously Patrick Reed coming back next year in 2027. Um, Part of their deal, Patrick Reed's and Brooks Koepka's deal, is obviously, first of all, they are not obviously just signature events. They're not in. They'll have to qualify for those, but also they they're technically non-members as of right now. Um, Once they play good enough in events, they'll get all their stuff back, more than likely. Also, the bigger side of things to be able to like look at for what they aren't allowed or allowed to have. The PGA Tour does equity, basically an equity program for the top 50 FedEx Cup players. You get money at the end of the year based on how you play, all this stuff. A lot of different rules to that. But they will not be eligible for the equity program for the first 5 years that they're back on the PGA Tour. So obviously, Brooks Koepka, if he starts this year, 5 years from now, same thing with Patrick Reed. So that's the kind of the big deal for them. Also, I know Brooks Koepka had to give $5 million to charity. I don't know anything about Patrick Reed potentially having to give money. Um, Trying to look here just to make sure that nothing was said. I don't believe so as of right now. If anything's come out that he has, but could be something that that he's going to have to do. Um, But yeah, I mean, big news. Obviously, see two big guys from Live come back to the PGA Tour. I know it's been talked about. A lot of their contracts end after this year, like Bryson's. You got some big guys over there. Obviously, the what we had believed when Brooks Koepka, the only guys who could come back this year were the guys that have won a major since 2020. So Cam Smith, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, and John Rahm were the only four guys that come back this year. I do know there have been live guys to uh, put their name, like try to put their name back into the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour says that they won't be allowed until 2027 to potentially come back. These rules are being made up by day, by night, by week. Obviously, for the PGA Tour, this is nothing they've done before. They don't have these rules set. It's really just whatever the PGA Tour likes and thinks. So we'll see that it could easily change. These players could be allowed back sooner, later, not allowed back at all. It kind of
I
depends.
yeah, I mean, I'll say this though. I mean, as a fan, I think I get the whole loyalty. Like you feel like you were, I guess, betrayed's a word we'll use by these guys going to live.
Yeah.
But as a fan, I'd like to see these guys back and playing, like because it just makes the tournaments more fun to watch. I mean, the competition gets better. Um, and again, but you have rules and guidelines set for guys wanting to come back. So I mean, they can't really.
Uh,
It's
Yeah,
not
and
like they're.
you say they have these guidelines, but honestly, again, they're kind of being made up on the spot of what is being allowed or not allowed, and it's a hot mess just in general of live and PGA. There's a lot of rule changes. There's a lot of things that have to be figured out
Yeah.
on
Well,
both sides. Obviously, even like Bryson making a comment today about obviously the big news of Live going to 72 holes. Well, now you've changed it from 54 holes to 72. Now you just turned the PGA Tour, just a different, just a
No,
different name basically.
that's the
And
thing.
Bryson's saying, "Hey, we didn't sign up for this." I don't think. I know people took it in the way of maybe he's saying, "Well, I don't want to play 72 holes." I don't think that's what he was saying. I think that was more of saying maybe there's even more of a reason for me to leave because this isn't really anything different or special, compared to the PGA Tour. And I know there's been
Well,
a lot of talks. His contract ends at the end of 2026. I know, and if I was Bryson, and everybody said this, if I was Bryson, I am the top guy in Live right now. I'm bringing in the most money for Live. I know John Rahm is probably their best player, but I am bringing in the most money for Live. I would ask for $500 million, okay, or whatever the most I could possibly ask for. Ask if they could give me that, and if they can't, I'd go back to the PGA Tour. You
yeah,
know,
well, that's the thing too. I mean, again, and them going to 72 holes again. To me, that's the competition aspect of it. It's like, hey, okay,
yeah.
fine, you're gonna do this. Okay, we'll notch it up. Like
And I
I
think
think,
some of that's also to get their players ready since they are able to play in majors.
yeah,
Obviously, to kind
and
of get
here,
them ready for the major competition as well. But again, I mean, at this point, it's still a hot mess as much as it's not as hot mess as when it started for sure. But there's a lot of things to get figured out on
I
both
think,
sides.
yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're the PGA, I guess I feel like you set your rule standards, whether it's like, okay, the equity program, which you have to be qualified for that to play in events. I think you set your ground rules straight. You say, okay, fine, you can come back,
Yeah.
but you're not going to be, I think you set the bar down and say, okay, well, here, you can't play in these events. You have to qualify. I mean, you can play, but you have to qualify. You don't
Mm-hmm.
get your exempts. Um,
Yeah.
and live. I mean, if you're like Bryson again, I agree. Ask, say, okay, well, I want this much to stay. If
Yeah.
not, I'm leaving. Like
Easily.
I,
I
I
think
think,
it'll be interesting to see how many other guys leave Live. Obviously, two big guys for Live leaving, and Patrick Reed and Brooks Koepka. If they lose a couple more guys, man, we could be seeing the downfall of Live.
well,
I mean,
and you said it the
I
other
don't
day.
know.
You kind of you and we were Instagramming or you DM me or whatever you call it, and we were you texted me. We were talking about it. Oh goodness, man, Cameron, quit giving me that look. We were talking about it. You said, "Is this?" Yeah, you basically said, "Is this a downfall of
Is
live?"
this the down? Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
And honestly, it, look, I think it'll be more of is it the downfall come the end of this year because a lot of those guy contracts, John Rahm, Brooke, obviously Bryson, Cam Smith, those big guys, their contracts end. Who could potentially come back? I don't know. Will you see all those guys come back? Will you see them kind of negotiate new contracts and want to keep playing? If you're a guy like John Rahm, you can win Player of the Year and win, $100 million by not even winning events. You can't do that on the PGA Tour. All these things. There could be different, reasons for somebody to stay or reasons for somebody to leave. Um, we'll see. I mean, again, it's still a hot mess, and PGA Tour is making up rules. Lives making up rules by day by night. Everything could change, but we do know Brooks Koepka's back to playing on the PGA Tour. Love to see him back. Love that swing. Always love seeing medium shirts be worn on the golf course. Um, and Captain America's coming back next year in Patrick Reed. And I know some
yeah,
people hate him, some people love him. He's kind of the villain, but hey, that's kind of what the PGA Tour needs too. Is kind of some villains, and I think
yeah,
Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed are those guys. So it'll
yeah.
be fun to watch.
But yeah, excited to see. Again, we're going to keep up the situation. Obviously, a lot of things
Yeah,
are going to go on from now until the end of the season next year. We'll
definitely.
get into those discussions as it goes on. But with that being said, that's going to conclude today's show.
Yeah,
Our,
nothing else you need. Nothing else you need to add.
I don't believe
We're
so, man.
I
Um,
did. I did just want to mention because I know we'll mention it Thursday, but for people to kind of prepare, the Winter Olympics starts on Friday. For those who do not know, so go look at the schedule for all the sports that actually begin play on Friday
yeah,
or don't. Obviously, we'll talk more about that on Thursday and probably actually have the
yeah,
schedule in front of us. But did just want to mention that before we get to Thursday, and
yeah,
some people forget.
for sure. And that's basically what I was about to talk about. Videos this week, we're gonna try and hopefully our plans to try and get a video out before Thursday or on the day of Thursday, posted before the tee times begin. Um, just go breaking down the golf tournament because it is kind of a big one. It's a big one
Yeah,
that's not a major. Um, Super
or
Bowl,
signature film.
yeah, I mean,
That's
got a
yeah.
Super
Obviously,
Bowl,
we got to look towards that too.
yeah, that's a big one. Winter Olympics beginning. Hockey video, we will get an NHL video out. It'll be Friday. We're gonna because the final day before the 20-day break for the Olympics, or the before the Olympic break is on Thursday. That's when the final games are. So we'll get that out. Busy week, and college baseball is February 13th.
Right around the corner. Can't wait. Can't
Buddy, it's just
wait.
everything sneaking up on us, man. But we're gonna have a lot to go over. A lot of great stuff. So, how do you know and keep up with all this stuff? Well, I'll tell you
You
exactly how you do
follow
it
us. You follow
on all
us.
our socials. That's exactly what you do.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, um,
Spotify,
uh,
Amazon Music.
Spot. Yeah, obviously. Yeah,
Just, just
go
go give
watch
us a
the
follow,
pods.
man.
Go watch the videos. Go follow. And yeah, I think that's it. So we'll see y'all Thursday. We'll have a lot to talk about.
A lot.